Welcome back, Tim here, Gamma VD. Video time again. We're back in the garage. Got another install video today. Today we're going to be doing an 80 series Land Cruiser. Ironically, one of the first racks we developed. One of the last videos I get around to doing. So, go figure, but should be a good time. A couple of unique things on this rack. So as we're waiting for the customer here, let me show you a couple things. So this rack is running Expo down, 3 towers per side. It's an Expo Plus, so we have the one grab handle above the doors and then the one cutout in the front. Skinny, super slim fairing is going to go on there. And a little bit special, we did a cutout for a solar panel. So there's a Renogy panel that's going to bolt right in here, hopefully, and look pretty cool. So a little bit unique here. And just a couple extra light tabs in the back. And there's Sam there, he always helps us out on the install. So yeah, that's the rack. So as we get started, first thing I like to do, you've seen this before, is separate the clamp from the tower body. And then we're gonna make some little bumpers here to protect the roof line. And again, this is some radiator overflow hose that works really well. So that's just gonna go down on this bottom edge here and give us some protection. So I got my 6 here, I'm gonna knock those out. So I've got my line here. Just use one of my bodies as a template. And eyeball the distance. I got my little clipper. Clip that off. I'm going to take my utility knife very carefully without cutting my finger. Just slice that down lengthwise. And then that just slides right over the bottom edge of this body here. So let me do that a couple more times. All right, so I've got my 6 bodies with the nice pad on the bottom. Those are nice and happy. Next move then is going to be taking 2 bolts, 2 washers, and then running them through the bodies, screwing those through. Clearance is a little tight with the powder coat, but I found if I just twist it down with the wrench, it goes right on through. And it also holds it in there for me for the next step, which is kind of handy. So run those down, and then of course take my tower riser. In this case, we're using the lower 3060s. And I'm going to go washer, lock washer, nut on the back side. Do that for all 6. Okay, just like that. That's what that looks like. So we got the lock washers and nuts. These are all just finger tight, about as tight as I can get them with my finger. I still want them to be able to wiggle a little bit so I can adjust it to the rack. Got all 5 set up. That's about as far as we can go on the towers until the truck's here. So I'll move over to the fairing. So when I do the fairings, I'll use an open drawer as a workbench. Put the fairing upside down. That allows me to get to both sides of it really easily. And then of course we're just going to bolt up these guys so that the the radiuses are opposing, because the one bar is going to go here, the other one's going to go there, so they're going to push out. So to bolt those up, I'll show you what that looks like. So there we go, all buttoned up. That's what that looks like on that side. And of course I've got the little rubber pads here. Those are going to land right where the bars are of the rack, so that any wind noise at all gets dampened by those. All just finger tight. I snap it into the rack, and then I tighten them by hand. I come to the rack here, fairing in the gap, push the top foot down and just snap it in there, just like that. To the other side, just like that. And then I'm just going to hold the clip with my hand as I just tighten these bolts up a little bit. This guy is already nice and tight, though I can feel it. And I can't move the fairing if I try to move it this way, so I know it's in there nice and snug. That's all there is to it. So back to the rack. Got the panel on. Pretty straightforward. We threw some rib nuts into the actual panel and then just ran some bolts in there, so get some nice adjustability. And then as far as the truck goes, just like the 60 install, we just do the front and rear towers. Next move will actually be put the rack up there and bolt it up. Pretty light. Yeah, it's like awesome already. Okay, so our next move then is just match one side to the other and bolt those just front and rear towers on. which we've got done here. In this case, we had to raise those all as high as they could go just to buy us some clearance under this panel. Once you're happy with the position though, you've double checked in the back hatch that this fin can't interfere. You've got the 4 corners bolted up. Then the last move is go ahead and do these extra plates. Sorry about my hand there. Go ahead and do these extra plates, and then we're done. So then, yeah, you bolt up your middle towers, you get everything snugged up. Just like the rest, the first ones you tighten are the ones up the top here. And then you want to tighten your clamp. And then your last ones are going to be the ones that go through the middle of the tower right here, that are just going to hold those 2 tower pieces together. But your height is really set by your front tower and your back tower. And that's it. And that's it. Give her one of these. Looks good. Hope that was fun. Hope that was helpful to you. Pretty simple, but very important. 80 series rack install. So thank you for being with me today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please let me know what else you want to see. See you on the next one.